Doomfist as well is just actually crazy. And do you know why it's crazy? It's because he dives with immunity, it feels like. He doesn't even need Desire Barrier, Harry. He just gets an orb from Lilbo and he's like, I'm good, guys. I'm going to jump to the back line and then one-shot support and then just jump straight out. And then Davin as well has so much control in the Sombra, hacking these health packs. So it's an easy escape for Facility and a lot of health for his supports as well.
He can take a beautiful bubble bath in that defense matrix. And you know the other reason Jules really likes this composition, and that's because he can learn 2 characters for solo queue at once, because you have both the Ana and the Zen, of course, from the back lines, 2 long-range supports to lay down long-range healing, or in some cases damage if you need to try and take out a particular target. But Sooner and Graceful are going to be coming out on the combination of both Tracer and Sombra. So a lot of hit scan damage here, but most of it short range. Potentially going to be trying to bring down Milky Man.
Yeah, super dive. Nice hack actually onto the small health pad there, so Suna can't actually retreat to it. Milky Man's going to take out Tonic to start off the fight in this Facility, paying a little visit to Graceful's skull as he does end up getting squished against the wall. Suna's going to be able to get out. That was very... I was watching the recharge. I was like, is he actually going to get recharge, or is he going to face plant into that bit of wood? He does actually make it over in the end, and he is on the back lines now.
And we did see him attempt to go for that one clip onto Zupe, not quite what he wanted. So now Zappis has very much got to divide his attention because he knows Suna is in the back, potentially moving on to either Lilbo or Zupe. And of course, he has to be able to defend Milky Man at the same time, but at any moment, Graceful can pop out of nowhere like, looking for me.
Seeing that picture-in-picture. Suna's doing a lot of damage to the back line. Graceful is going to have to hack Facility here. That's the target he needs to be able to get onto, because then as soon as you remove Doom's abilities, or you remove Little Bo's life, that's a pretty good start to the fight. Zupe is going to go down as well. Both healers now being killed on the side of Team Gigantti, and a Pulse Bomb rewarded for Suna as well. Now Facility diving in, gets a lot of shielding when he hits multiple targets with his abilities, but that's not going to help him when he doesn't have the healing to back him up with. A nice recall from Suna, and a Graceful with a couple of kills there is going to be working towards his EMP. Team Gigantti ends up losing out on first point. That's going to be a nice time bank for Young and Beautiful to work with as well.
Sooner there obviously swapping. I wanted for a second where he just pulse bombed the Pagoda. Sometimes you really just got to show who's boss. Sting throwing out the the nano boost onto Suna the second when he moves onto the Brigida, because of course he was also swapping. Young and Beautiful here kind of getting rid of their ultimate economy because they wanted a better setup in terms of heroes to try and take this area. Of course, we're going to move on to high ground. We want to set Ding up there where he could be less potentially damaged by Davin, but of course that EMP, which Davin almost has, will strip the shields away from Ding and make him so easy to kill.
It's like we're watching week... Oh no, I take it back. Okay, Facility's going to go down. I was going to say, it's like we're watching week 2 all over again. Facility rocket punching people and finding a nice multi-kill. And like you saw in actually the bumper a little bit earlier on. Ding and Tonic are going to fall here for Young and Beautiful. Facility did get traded to start off the team fight, but the problem is, Young and Beautiful, their spawns are nowhere near the way Gigantti's are. Gigantti as well, only expending 1 ultimate in that fight. They have 2 to work with. The main 2 I'm looking at right now is Facility's Meteor Strike and that EMP.
Look how quickly Zupe's also built up towards this next nano boost as well. But you're talking about watching last week, Jules, and that's exactly what I imagine Young and Beautiful did. They know this is a set play from Gigantti. That's twice we've seen the Facility Nano Doomfist wrap around when people move in through that top area. And Young and Beautiful don't want to have any more of that. They're deciding to go through main this time. Ding's going to be sitting down there as well, and Davin's ready to engage with an EMP at a moment's notice.
He is, but he did get the hack onto the D.Va mech first, which means almost a guaranteed D-mech onto Danny there. They're not going to need to use any more ultimates because the D.Va falling does mean the supports in the backline are going to be able to receive that defense matrix, which means they're going to back off fairly quickly. So no ultimates used whatsoever, just a simple hack to end the team fight.
You notice that after Davin translocated back to his spawn, because Young and Beautiful had already had a member picked off, Davin didn't actually wait for his translocator to come back up before re-engaged in the fight. He knew that if he got picked off without that translocator, it was pretty good because Young and Beautiful were already down on members and they need a clean wipe in order to claim that point, so he can afford that additional uptime to build up a little bit more damage.
It's not a wraparound this time around. It's Facility just facing Mano a Mano. Activates the Meteor Strike. He's going to use it more defensively this time though. He's going to back off towards his spawn. Was about 50 HP or so. He's got to do that. Translocator upwards. Dan gets the EMP. That's a bad place for Danny to be. Gets instantly demeked by Facility, who's going to have to retreat regardless, as the sound barrier did come through from Young and Beautiful. Gustav wasn't hacked in the process.
Gustav doing a good job there of circumventing the EMP, but Danny's in trouble right now. He's being chased by a very angry monkey.
Oh my goodness, Facility slams on the ground, finds 2 people, but an instantaneous EMP makes sure he can't get any more damage off. A Transcendence to try and save Danny's Meg, but it does end up going down. There will be a self-destruct launched into the air by... No, sorry, sitting on the floor by Danny, who actually kills Zappis in the meantime. And Tonic forcing everybody back into the spawn with the Primal Rage. They're going to be able to find 2 ticks and only a couple more percent percentage points to get air. Tonic just forcing the rest of Gigantti out of the other side door, but they already committed Primal Rage and everybody gets knocked back into their spawn.
Beautiful play there, and you'd think that after Zupe hit that sleep, the anger management to lay down a Primal Rage and Winston, that potentially they may not have woken him up, but...
Whoops, Daisy.
Why do you do this? Why do you do this? He was sleeping, team. You got to call those sleeps. You got to call them 5 seconds in advance.
Yeah, 5 seconds. I'm going to sleep the Winston who has yet to Primal Rage.
5, 4. Surface.
Why'd you wake him up? Maybe it was the Tesla cannon damage coming out from his Winston. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I can imagine when you are that Nano Winston, you're like, must WM1. Yeah. Cannot resist the call of the wild.
You got to kill people, man, but it just so happens to wake up the Primal Rage Winston and you forfeit the point. 3 minutes and 23 seconds in the time bank as well on Hanamura. Pretty impressive. Now Gigantti get their chance to attack Young and Beautiful. They're going to do the same thing. 2 long-range healers, like you mentioned before, in Ding and Gustav on the Ana and Zenyatta respectively. And Graceful is hopping onto the Doomis and Sooner on the Sombra.
Which team is it that runs the Symmetra here to teleport people up onto the high ground? Is that Windstrike? Ah, yes. It's a beautiful strategy.
It's a beautiful strategy. You can't really touch the supports up there. It feels really good.
And actually, I think it might be Morning Stars.
I can't entirely remember.
So I think we do see Exaraf and Dreedro up there.
I wish you
and you'll also be seeing Morning Stars later today as well in their matchup against HSL. You've got that to look forward to. But in the here and now,
please switch to here and now because my memory is awful.
You can't even remember what matches we will be.
If I can leaf through my notebook real fast, Harry. But the round's so just starting. They're going to come out the gate.
Look at this setup as well. Oh no, they messed it up. What's supposed to happen here is they put the wall under Davin so that Davin can jump up and throw a flashbang onto a potentially scouting Sombra, get an early pick when they can't manage to translocate out of that.
They messed up. They're going to ignore it as well. Danny's mech is going extremely low already. Graceful tries to get an early pick off, but is sent packing. 100 HP was taken from him. And now Tonic's going to go down as well. Actually, where was Tonic? I think maybe he was on the mini health pack. Not entirely sure, but now their main tank is falling. And Gigantti are going to make their way onto the point. Davin on the McCree to stop Graceful charging in on the Doomfist. And Sooner as well is going to reset himself. Facility is actually going to get killed by Graceful in the end. But Gigantti, they've got such close spawns now. They're going to be able to take this fight rather easily.
Gigantti here playing the Finnish Secret Service, protecting President Davin on this McCree as he can lay down shot after shot on Zupe's doing the exact same, building up. Oh no,
nice.
Not like this. Far from graceful, Jules.
Oh no, Davin wasn't even needed to be protected. Apparently Zupe is the one that they were protecting in that fight. 2 kills for the Zenyatta and a Transcendence almost netted. That will be a high noon available for Team Gigantti as well. Graceful is actually switching over to the Sombra and Sooner, yeah, on the Widowmaker, trying to take out Davin before he can even set up for that ultimate.
Potentially a quick shot to the brain if he brings out this Deadeye, but for now it looks like it may well be the Monkey who's dead to those rights.
Uh-oh. Well, Zappis' mech's already going to go down, but Graceful is actually going to soon follow. There's the Deadeye activated. Tonic trying to hide, but there are 4 people behind him ready to pay him a visit. That'll be Facility taken out too, and Team Gigantti cementing themselves on the point. Danny's going to fall as well, and Graceful hopping on to the emergency hamster.
Facility somehow managed to get a double kill with a whip shot, but you can see right now Zupe's hiding away, doesn't want to be caught out. It potentially can enter with that Transcendence at any moment.
Oh, Ding's going to go down. Only 1 healer now available for Young and Beautiful. We had Nano Boost as well. If he can get out, and actually Nano Graceful, he's going to be able to stall for so long. A self-destruct onto the point is going to end Danny's life. A tick has now been acquired by Team Gigantti, and now Graceful jumps out, but an early Discord orb and a whole lot of orbs just sends him down to that mini health pack in order to get a little bit of a comeuppance.
Transcendence versus Transcendence right now. Everyone's being healed up. You've got to stay out of those shields if you want everyone to be healed on the outside of those already. Here comes a Primal Rage to try and stall out the point a little bit longer.
But look how low he's going already, and Milky Man's going to find the kill onto Gustav too. It's self-destructed in the middle of the point, clears them out for the time. There'll be another Deadeye coming through, and Davin and Ding ends up with a bullet to the brain. Graceful finds the kill onto Davin, but it might just be too little too late. He's holding onto the side of the point here. The man that can flex onto 1,000 heroes ends up getting taken down, and that'll be the emergency doofus from Sooner now. Everyone from Young and Beautiful just trying to stall out for as long as they can. Even Ding jumping over to a main tank in the hamster, but the self-destruct is going to quickly kill him, and the rest of the time gets eaten all up. That'll be Young and Beautiful failing to hold the point. Team Gigantti with a very, very beautiful time back.
Milky Man there had such great value with his shields. He actually put them in the back left and the back right corner if we're looking from a perspective of the attackers moving down towards the point. The first time, he did that to really block off any sightlines that Sooner on the Widowmaker could have, as well as any sightlines that Ding on the Ana could use to heal players who were on the point trying to contest. So that was some great denial of both space and sightlines against 2 long-range heroes from Milky Man. And then second, he laid down that shield on the back right corner to protect so many of his members of his team from Suna coming in with a Seismic Slam. Seismic Slam was actually on the other side of the shield and everyone was on the other side of the barrier. That not only meant that they didn't get affected by the Seismic Slam, protecting them potentially getting picked by the hand cannon follow-up afterwards, but also denied so much of the overshield that you get from offenses of best defense, the passive of Doomfist. That denied him like 90 extra health that could have been used to stall for even longer. Smart boy.
Smart lad. Facility now hopping over to the Doomfist once more as Davin's going to hop over to the Sombra. 5 minutes and 12 seconds in the time bank. They gained 1 minute and 12 in that initial push. Young and Beautiful going to have to come out with something rather special. Although I do like this composition from Young and Beautiful, a potential McCree might be a little bit better off than the Tracer. It's going to be fairly hard to actually pin down Lilbo. There's just so much peel for him in the form of Zappe's Grenade, and you also have the defense matrix as well from Zappis, and then you've got to worry about Facility as well. I
imagine what they really want here is for Graceful to hack Facility when he engages, and then Suna to quickly be able to one-clip him, because of course there's a huge hitbox off the Doomfist, which you can quickly bring down with those pulse pistols.
Does seem so. However, very, very cautious Young and Beautiful playing now, waiting for their cooldowns to come back up. Zappis is spotted on the miniature health pack to make sure it doesn't get hacked away like we saw last time.
Gustav going to be scouting out, of course, having a little bit of a bounce. Is going to be dodging the hand cannon shots as well. For now, it just looks like Young and Beautiful are posturing a long-range shot there onto Lilbo, but it's just as quickly healed up as Graceful potentially is going to open this one up.
He is on that mini as well, and that's actually hacked, so Graceful's probably going to end up losing that fight. You've got to be extremely careful. The pulse pistols from Suna doing a lot of damage in the front line, and Davin ends up going down. But Danny is mech, and Danny are going to get traded for it. Suna is pretty low, but they do manage to corral on the point and receive all those heals from Lucio. Facility not quite finding the pick he did to start off the round last time. Isn't going to be able to do a whole lot here. He's going to have to wait for his tank to get back on the point and try and find a nice little rocket punch onto somebody. Does get instantly stuck by Suna though. Pulse Pistol's doing a fair bit of work. Earned himself a Pulse Bomb extremely quickly.
Dancing around with those fancy footworks. The question is, can he take anyone down?
How's he surviving in that situation? On 3 people manages to one-clip Lilbo and then almost take out the rest of the team. Danny ends up killing Milky Man as well. They're going to jump straight onto the point, and Ding is completely safe in the back line, healed the rest of the team.
Someone heal this man. Suna's going absolutely mad. Now he's got full health again, ready to go in. There's Zappe, there is Davin. One after another, they fall before the Tracer, and Suna, I know you want to give us a show, love, but I guess we are moving over onto Brigitte once more, and I imagine Ding will once again also swap over to the Zenyatta. That's exactly what it is. Team Gigantti, have they learned from their past defense that gave us up rather quickly last time? And Young and Beautiful have 2 minutes now to attack. That's potentially quite enough time to get the full completion here. But Davin's going to be waiting in the wings. They're no longer running Facility on the Doomfist. They've actually got him on the Brigitte instead, so it's not going to be that nano Doomfist wraparound that we've come to expect.
But they have got an EMP out waiting. There's an EMP fairly early from Young and Beautiful and a counter one also. You can, nice boop! It might not matter though, as they are just running them down. Nice boop onto the Zenyatta to stop the healing from the rest of the team, but Davin and the rest of the squad are going to be able to chase everybody down. Nice counter EMP from Davin there. Didn't get EMP'd himself, was able to just hold the ultimate, and Young and Beautiful just walk into the lying trap of Davin's own EMP.
Indeed it was. However, they did manage to force out Lilbo's Transcendence there, and it was booped down, managing to mitigate its effectiveness, but of course Team Gigantti in the end didn't end up needing that, and now they have 3 ultimates ready to go to try and defend this, but they're going up against 3 as well. It's going to be Nano Boost and 2 tank ults versus Sound Barrier and 2 tank ults. For now, Tonic's going to try and make the engagement, but a good ward away there means that he isn't going to be landing on the high ground.
Oh dear, Nano Facility once more, but a Sound Barrier to match. Facility's not going to be able to do all too much now as he is hacked as well. Does have the rally, he's going to have to back off for the time to make sure he can get his abilities back. Sooner activates his own rally in turn, and Milky Man is going to go down. A self-destruct on the point also for I believe that was Zappis. Yep, Zappis is going to be able to remake fairly quickly as well. A Transcendence onto the point now for the side of Young and Beautiful, keeping him alive and able to secure a tick as well.
Tonic there, a huge amount of damage from that self-destruct from Zappis, and there's a clean up EMP Jaws. Oh,
right on top of everybody else.
Tasty morsels.
Yeah, Davin, 60 rounds in that mag, quickly unloaded onto the rest of Young and Beautiful. Even Milky Man finding a couple of kills. He switched over to the early Reinhardt. We'll see if he switched back to the Winston. I think he is going to. Control of that high ground is the name of the game right now, but Graceful is going to be able to come back with an EMP of his own.
You know, I'm not actually a fan of that EMP. There were 4 members there, and they didn't really have any tanks left. It felt like Team Gigantti easily could have cleaned that up with their respawns. They didn't need to invest that EMP, and now we're moving into our last fight territory. Jaws, Davin's not going to be able to get another another EMP back before the overtime begins. Graceful's going to have to try and engage this fight. He's going to be looking for Lilbo, but he's got that armor under that shield still.
Now Zappis, everything being removed from him, gets hacked to the front line, but another perfect transcendence from Lilbo, hiding from that EMP. Tonica's going to fall. Zappis should be able to clean everybody else up with that self-destruct. They've got to be a little bit more careful than that. Everybody does manage to avoid the damage for the time, and Milky Man just distracting the supports in the side, but jumps straight into Suna, who's just swinging for the high heavens, is able to pick up 2 kills. Didn't kill Zappis also. They claim 2 ticks on the point, and a third also. Suna just popping off in that last fight. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for the rest of the supports that had to just pile onto the point to continue that overtime.
You know what would have been really useful in that fight, Jaws? An EMP from Davin. That would have been very useful on that engagement, and also Graceful laying down the EMP at the start. I thought potentially it was not the play that he didn't manage to get Lilbo, because Lilbo answered that EMP with the Transcendence, but forcing that cooldown out early when it was still a 6v6 fight was potentially a very good move for Young and Beautiful, so that it wasn't there when they were trying to stall out in those little overtime clutch situations, because you do have the best chance of taking that particular point in overtime, because when you're in overtime, when people die, they have an extended respawn counter. I think it's up to 12 seconds, potentially even more, depending on how many players you have on the point. So being able to take that 6v6 fight and trading those ultimates was very good for them.
Well, now they have to face a 5-minute and 12 time bank. Gigantti did manage to burn that OT down, though. So there's no seconds left in Young and Beautifuls. Now is all up to Team Gigantti to try and cap first and second with more than a minute, or more than just their initial time back anyway.
Yeah, speaking of time banks, I'm going to bring you guys through the potential win conditions here. If Gigantti can fully cap this point, then they will get another attack. But if they want Young and Beautiful to not get another attack, they have to do it with over a minute in their time bank. If they have less than a minute when they complete this, Young and Beautiful will be given a courtesy minute to attempt this again.
Oh, there is the sneaky May Ward to try and flashbang the hidden Sombra, but this time she was actually hiding behind that mech, or whatever that is. I think it's a crane of some sort. I don't even
a crane? Know. I think it actually paints.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
I think it's a spray painting robot.
Oh, Graceful.
Hello. Omnic, sorry.
Oh, yeah. He wants to get out of there very quickly.
Didn't mean to be bottist.
It's okay, Harry, don't worry.
Bob is looking disapprovingly down on me.
He is. Unfortunately, no Ash. I'm fairly sad about that. That's a nice headshot from Davin, though. Already making his way onto the point. You see Davin, you say protect the Davin, but he's frontlining right now, taking no name.
Yeah, watch this. Gigantti are all going to rush forward. They'll claim the space, and then Davin will come in behind them.
Oh, nice sleep dart actually onto the mech of Zappis. Is going to hold their advantage just for the time, but look at Davin's ult charge already. 82% on the Deadeye.
Actually, he's being very brazen here, not standing so much behind his tanks. Going to have to wait for him to claim this space. There's a nano Winston,
You see him look around, he was like, where's the Winston? He's actually zapping in the back line, and early nano boost coming through onto Tonic, forcing everybody from Team Gigantti to fall back. Zappis losing his mech as well, and Davin losing his life is going to have to make sure they are going to have to go for another attack. Davin still has that ultimate available, and Zappis, yep, just paying his dues, and Graceful is going to secure the kill.
Gorilla's well known as being ambush predators, especially against the lesser spotted American cowboy on the great lawless plains of Hanamura. But let's have a quick look at these ultimates, Jaws. Suna does have that EMP ready to go, and Zuppe is going to be potentially the main target of this. We talked before, it can strip away all those shields, but Zuppe can potentially preempt this. Look at him, he's hiding in the background there, trying to stay away from that EMP.
Oh, that was very, very close as well to actually being picked up by the Tesla cannon damage there. Beautiful nade as well on the front line. Did manage to coat at least 3 people in anti-nade goo, which will mean the Transcendence does absolutely nothing. Graceful is going to be able to kill Milkman as well. That'll mean Team Gigantti are going to have to go for yet another attack. 2 minutes already burned here on the side of Young and Beautiful, so they're doing pretty well in terms of time back.
So that's actually so smart that they invested both the EMP and the anti-grenade, because they knew they didn't necessarily have to get Zuppe, because they could just make Zuppe burn his ultimate anyway. Use the EMP, there's nothing to mitigate that Bionade coming in, and then it's useless anyway to use the Transcendence.
Oh, Graceful gets nano, jumps the back line. Davin just ends his life with a flashbang. Danny's mech just gets instantly deleted by the Deadeye as well. Zuppe finding Danny's small baby diva body is going to be able to secure the kill, which means the rest of Gigantti are going to make themselves known on the point. That'll be Tonic going down last. They stalled for at least 2.5 minutes there. So Young and Beautiful, they're going to be able to recollect themselves. They're going to have potentially an EMP for this fight, as well as the Transcendence and the Primal Rage.
They have the ultimates ready, Jaws, but they are going up against quite a formidable time bank. 3 minutes remaining for Team Gigantti, meaning they have a minute and 50 seconds before they will, if they complete, give Young and Beautiful that cursory minute to try and attempt this again. 2 tank ultimates in the bank to try and make this work. No support ultimates, and of course, they're pretty far from that Deadeye after Danny was picked off last time. And when it comes down to pro play, if you're going for that Deadeye, then getting 1 kill is huge value.
Milkyman popped the Primal Rage extremely early, trying to actually get Sooner away from himself. Didn't actually end up getting hacked. And there's the, I say hacked, there's the EMP straight onto the point. Uh-oh, Tonic's going extremely low. That will be Milkyman just forcing everybody into this small corridor here. Around that mega health pack, it isn't actually hacked, so Milkyman can't actually make use of that. Young and Beautiful still trying to punish Milkyman for his positioning, but right now, that will be Graceful going down. Davin popping the Deadeye as well, making sure everybody scurries for cover, and Tonic receiving that nano boost the last second to increase his damage resistance. Doesn't take all of any damage, and a Transcendence as well to actually get them onto the points.
Zuppe ready to go with that Transcendence, ready to answer Tonic with a nano, but now he's going to be starting to cleave through the members of Gigantti, as we've only got 50 seconds left before the minute mark passes.
Another nice flashbang onto Tonic, halts his progress, but a big bio grenade as well. Did seal the deal from Ding, just splashed it in the corner, making sure no one could receive any heals. 1 minute and 40 seconds, like you just mentioned. Young and Beautiful, they're ready and raring to go again. Sooner might have an EMP again. This is 20% away. It doesn't take too long for Sombra to build that one up.
And Ding's had a huge value proposition on the Ana, so many valuable biotic grenades, and he can also lay down so much poke from a distance that Davin's going to be very scared to peek out of those sightlines, because he can kill Davin in 3 hits if he doesn't accrue any healing. Because of course he does have 70 damage per shot, times 3 is 210, which for those of you who are new to maths is less than, or rather is more than 200. Almost managed to mess that one up.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need a little bit of maths.
You need more maths.
You need more maths. High noon available. Got to wait for that bubble to disappear though. Oh, nice leap onto Davin. Didn't quite get him when he popped the high noon though.
Oh, and the long range.
Hold up. Okay,
perfect
so that was
execution.
a right click. That was a right click from Gustav. That's just cruel.
And the main click from Ding as well. That was a coordinated execution of the
You also
Sheriff.
see Gigantti like just exit completely. They were like, Davin's asleep. Let's just leave him. All right, sorry, Davin. You're going to have to just respawn. They're going to respawn pretty fast. They got 40 seconds remaining, and Young and Beautiful ult bang looking pretty juicy.
Yeah, this is very winnable for Young and Beautiful. We can potentially draw up the series here. Sooner can potentially shut everyone down with that EMP, of course, and he may well look to try and shut down Zuppe, or they can try that combination again where they go for the EMP and then biotic grenade to make sure that Zuppe's ult can be used but also get 0 value.
High Noon did get used there by Davin. Didn't quite do all of anything though. There's EMP onto the point of Transcendence as well. Self-destruct does end of Zappis' mech and ends his life as well. 9 seconds now remain for Team Gigantti to move their way onto the point. A rally as well is going to be used to force them forward. Sooner just hacking everybody in the back line. No one's actually paying attention to him whatsoever. Overtime now in effect. There will be the beat forward for Team Gigantti in order to force them onto the point a little bit more, but Graceful just seems completely uncontested. And Nano as well onto the Winston to force everybody in the back line to scurry for cover. Milkyman trying to create a little bit more space with the Primal Rage, but someone's going to have to touch. Davin manages to get back onto the point and manage to kill at least one person. This is what they need, but a stall could come in as well for Young and Beautiful. They are so close. Milkyman finds another kill, and Zuppe is still alive in this fight.
Zappis still has the self-destruct to try and lock this down as well. Looks like no one will be able to get there, and why did we see the Transcendence from Gustav?
I just don't know. An EMP straight into a trans, and the EMP as well only managed to catch one person.
I don't know, man. That is so confusing to me. It's like, hey guys, so it's last fight. Let's just throw all of our ultimates in there
at once.
Emphasis on a particular word in that sentence.
Well, guess what?
Yikes.
That now cost them a little bit. They got 1 minute each in the time bank. Team Gigantti are going to be on the defense first. That will be Young and Beautiful. We are 4-4. This could potentially go 6-6. We'll have to wait and see.
It could very well do. It does look like Young and Beautiful are going to be starting off on the offense once more. So we'll see what they're going to be up to. It may well be the same offense again, but Sooner doesn't appear to be hovering over the Tracer this time, and that's what we've been expecting the last few times. We've seen Graceful come through on the Sombra, Sooner on the Tracer, and thus far, Sooner actually has been rather impressive on the Tracer, being able to bring out those quite consistent one-clips, and he's been able to play that consistently because he knows that there's very little chance that we're going to see Visility or Davin on the Brigitte, which is one of the main counters to Tracer, of course. Very much was one of the main reasons why we don't see Tracer as much as we used to do, because of the ubiquity of that Brigitte.
Yeah, Tracer also fell out of favor as well when the Widowmaker and Mercy could just instantly kill you. One body shot, over 150 damage. 154 if I do recall it correctly.
156, my man.
Oh, missing the 2 damage. Oh, pity. Pity that Tracer only has 150
You need some more maths.
Yeah, clearly I need more maths now. Team Gigantti running the same thing. Facility on the Doomfist, Davin on the Sombra.
Here they are. I'll have to see what the engagement choice here is. Of course, Young and Beautiful can't stall out too long, but they are going to be moving back to change up their entire comp. Now it's the classic Goats, Jaws. Got the Moira in there.
Look at those shields, 400 HP, and Ding instantly falls. Tonic's going to follow him. 30 seconds now remain. They got one attack left to go. They do end up demeching and actually not killing Danny. Okay, so Davin actually finished him off. Facility's going to finish off Graceful as well. 20 seconds. Gustav's going to have to be very speedy in his offense here. Might have to just touch the point solo.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, Jules, with not killing Danny. They really should have left him alive because he didn't really have much of an option except to go back to spawn and give up the meager ult charge that he already had in order to gain that mech back. And now look at this. They're desperate. They're speeding in. In comes Facility. They'll try and do it off, but they've only got 2 seconds to
He's got Meteor Strike as well. He ends up just rocket punching Gustav, one-shotting him against the wall. Milky Man's going to find 2. They had no speed up for the Lucio to make it to the point, only made it in time. Even Milky Man getting up in the Brigitte's face, not scared at all of the Shield Maiden. Danny ends up going down, and a hold from Gigantti.
And now it is potentially Young and Beautiful hoping for a draw here. Just trying to figure out if they can win this. They can, actually. If they draw here and then win on Escort, we will go to our 5th map, which is Nepal, for those of you wondering what our tiebreaker is, which would be one of the weirdest scorelines for a 5-map series ever, to go 2-1.
Yeah, it reminds me of UK versus South Korea in the World Cup. UK and South Korea drawing 2 times in a row.
So, you know what? UK-based teams are very good at drawing things because... British Hurricane versus Windstrike, semi-finals of our Season 1 over in Poland. We actually saw 2 draws in a row as well there. I think it was on Numbani and Horizon Lunar Colony.
Memory serves you pretty well. I would definitely agree.
It was a fun match to
not
cast.
so much. Yes, it was. Definitely was. That was a fun event and stage, obviously, as well. It was the Paris World Cup stage.
Yeah,
like
getting to work with ZP and Jameson.
Oh, yeah, I miss ZP and
Our
Jameson.
NA brethren.
ZP's a fun guy to hang out with.
He is indeed. Highly recommend. 5 stars on Yelp.
Would ZP on Yelp? 5 stars? Should we make a Yelp page?
Yeah, man. We'll make
so every time someone hangs out with ZP, they
Andrew
can rate him.
ZP Rush on Yelp.
I rate him 5 stars too.
I think ZP would be a great Uber driver. Like, because he's very entertaining to converse with.
He's pretty talkative too.
Yeah.
Depends if how talkative you like your Uber drivers, to be fair.
Yeah.
It would also be
I'm
a
not
1
much
star.
of a social guy.
Yeah, exactly. It would be a 1 star for someone who doesn't want someone talking.
Well, we'll have to see if Team Gigantti will be letting their healing do the talking, because Zupe's come out on a Moira, a maximum of about 400 HPS, because you can use 80 HPS on 5 targets. They're quite nicely clustered together, but that stat is now useless because Zupe's moved over on to the Zenyatta. Instead, he wants to lay down those Discord orbs. So potentially going to be trying to find Tonic here on an early engagement, speed boost into him, and really punish any aggression.
Oh, nice boop actually onto Tonic there to make sure he can't get all that cleave damage off. Only gets about 20% of the ult charge available. Now, Team Gigantti making a very, very quick rotation using that speed boost. They've allotted half their time already. 20 seconds now remain. Remember, Young and Beautiful already had an attack at this point under their belt. Facility going extremely low, does get shield bash, but no one falling just yet.
Young and Beautiful also have to rotate onto the point. They can't afford to give up that tick here, and 5 members of Team Gigantti are already here. Davin just carving people down, but Lil Bo's going to be the first to fall, Jaws.
How did Little Bo go down? Milky Man's going to fall as well. Davin's going to have to pull something out of his back pocket right here. Zappis Mex also falls, and they're also close to the edge. Danny and Ding secure the last couple of kills, and would you have it known, 2 draws in a row. Hanamura not going over to anyone, and now it is Young and Beautiful's map pick once more.
So, channeling their inner wind strike here. We'll have to see where we're going to go for Escort. One sec. It will be Young and Beautiful's map pick?
Yes, it will.
It will be. I was listening.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
I was trying to figure out in my head, even if you did say the answer, I was like, yeah.
We're just making sure he's correct, just making sure the facts
What I would
are
have
up
liked to have seen there from Gigantti to really turn that around would be like, you saw Tonic try and leap in for that cleave damage, and they got the boop to try and mitigate that. And he laid down his shield as well. There was no defensive cooldown available there then left on. They could have just come on back and smacked him up.
Smacked him up!
Smacked him up with a Reinhardt and the rocket flail. Mace to the face.
Well, they didn't end up doing that, and it's going to be a draw for both sides. That was 5-minute and 12 time bank if you cast your mind back. Team Gigantti, unfortunately not securing the map. Does mean we're going to get this 5-map stat unless Gigantti does claim the next one. It is Young and Beautiful's turn to pick. We'll have to wait and see, though, as we jump to a quick break. Hey guys, welcome back. Map number 4.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, welcome back. Map number 4 of the series. Thanks, mate.
What? People could hear it anyway.
We didn't have to point it out. Do you want to point out though? We had 2 draws in a row. What's going on? Gigantti is supposed to be one of the group favourites, and they got 2 draws against Young and Beautiful, and they said it on the desk. The Gigantti, we're going to win.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This can't be great for the map differential of Gigantti.
Not at all. Young and Beautiful right now are going to have to choose a map once more. Apparently, if you choose a map, then you end up drawing it. I don't know what's going on right now, but all I do know is Gigantti and Young and Beautiful, they're kind of running at loggerheads. They're running 3-3s into each other, and Gigantti normally would come out on top in that situation. Historically, they do that, but Young and Beautiful just deleting and finding weaknesses like Visility's Doomfist, for example, just spotting him out and then changing up their own strategies also. Not running Graceful on Doomfist on the defense, running this 3-3 and actually matching Gigantti for it. This is what they're known for. They're known for tanks, and Young and Beautiful are winning out some of the time.
Yeah, historically, when you think tanks in Europe, you think of 2 teams. You think of Gigantti and you think of Angry Titans as well. Because both those guys very much pioneering a Reinhardt-centric style with their front men of LH Cloudy and Lolsish. LH Cloudy, of course, has been picked up by Paris Eternal, our European Overwatch League team, so best of luck to him, and he has been replaced by Milky Man. And Milky Man's got to synergize with a whole new tank line, because not only has Zappis come down from Florida Mayhem to home for a little bit of homecoming on Team Gigantti, but he's got to work with Davin as well, and you've got to wonder when this tank line will synergize a little bit better, because they've had some impressive showings, Jaws, but Milky Man's still not getting the protection that he needs all of the time, and often when you see a Reinhardt dying, it's because they're not getting what they need from the remainder of their team, especially in a 3-3. You have very little agency as for Reinhardt.
Gigantti looked fairly weak last week in the early stages of games, in the early stages of the series, but then at the end, they do pick it up, and they were not... Like, they were doing well with Gigantti bombs, but they weren't their old selves. That's definitely true. Graceful now jumping over to the far. It's obviously Dorado. I didn't really need to point that out, but Zappe, all right, okay. That's a beautiful right click. Yeah, I was going to say, whose body is that? But it's actually Graceful's that we were spectating. Zappe finding the first kill already. Danny's going to have to be very defensive in that situation. Doesn't want to burn too much of his matrix, and is going to get carved up also. Davin's at 50-60% now. Ult charge on that Graviton Surge, and you can see Graceful jumping straight out yet again on the far. Ding going fairly low, but Sooner also just pummeling the front line damage, front line with his machine pistol. Is going to build up to that EMP very quickly.
Quickly Ding has this Transcendence ready to go. He's been poking out of these doorways, hitting headshot after headshot, and of course healing up all the damage. Danny's been a huge drain on resources thus far, requires a huge amount of those healing resources to keep him alive.
Well, the beat does get laying down as well as the EMP. Zappe's Meg is instantly killed, but Zappe narrowly avoiding the EMP, doesn't lose the shield or his abilities, either is able to pop the Transcendence to survive it for the time. Rocket Barrage available. Now Davin has that Graviton Surge, but he's not going to be able to pin out Graceful in the air. That's going to be the main issue. Maybe you just go for Gustav, but Rocket Barrage hits the ground. Milky Man's going to be the main receiver. Same with Littlebow, who tried to poke his head around the corner for some reason. They're all going to die on cart to buy a little bit more time. Davin, most importantly there, actually saves his grab for the next upcoming fight.
Littlebow checking his weather app in a completely unhealthy way right there. Poking the center. What's going on out here? Oh, it's raining missiles. Who'd have thunk it? Raining justice, and that ain't great for you even if you did bring an umbrella. Team Gigantti with a full reset here, but of course they do have that all-important Graviton Surge ready to go in the next fight. Question is, what are they going to combine it with? They can wait a little bit. Zappis 14% away from the self-destruct, and for now he's going to be challenging out Graceful in the air to try and get that extra damage, but he's going to be using up some of his defense matrix to beat up those rockets too.
Shatter did hit the ground.
Somewhere.
There's Transcendence also. Graceful just dipping back down to receive all of his HP bar back. Davin's still holding on to that Graviton Surge, and the self-destruct is thrown high into the sky to try and catch the flying duo, but it only manages to find Tonic, but that might just be all that they need. Nice whip shot from Facility as well, actually taking out Gustav in the air.
The anti-air whip shot, that's very impressive. Oh, Davin's feeling lucky he's throwing in the mortars.
You might as well, there's no one else to hit really.
Yeah, to be fair, like, he doesn't need the extra ult charge anyway. He's already got that Graviton Surge ready to go, and any additional damage he does will actually be feeding the support ult of both Gustav and Ding. For now, he's just going to be trying to take out Danny on his own.
Okay, nice Graviton Surge. Didn't get eaten by the defense matrix as he was around that corner, but no follow-up damage. There's the EMP, there's the Rocket Barrage. Tonic and Ding finding the kills. No thank you, Graceful. Davin does take him out in the air, but the rest of Gigantti are in dire straits as Zappis ends up getting demeched as well, and Suna just farming the rest of the map.
Graceful returns to her fray quickly as well, because we often forget about the resurrection mechanic, which Mercy brings to before. She's been out of the meta for a while now, Jaws, but there was a time, of course, we all remember from Overwatch League, where she was just resurrection after resurrection, confusing kill feeds everywhere and casters more so. But it's going to be a full completion here of the first point from Young and Beautiful. Now have 3 minutes in their time bank, taking 3 minutes and 30 seconds to complete first due to that aggressive hold from Team Gigantti. And here comes the double sniper composition on the defense. I'm super surprised we're not actually seeing Littlebow go over onto the Mercy, but he is incredibly close to that Sand Barrier, which is a pretty high value ultimate when presented with the kind of damage you'll see from things like a Bigger Bang combo, where the overshield's very great at mitigating that burst.
Davin gets jumped on, but instantly healed up to 200 HP again. Just use the repeller into the skies. Danny's going to have to be the main target there for all of that damage. There's the beat as well coming through for Team Gigantti. Facility only on 50% ult charge. It's just trying to pound the front line right now. A lot of tanky targets to actually do so, and actually takes out good stuff in amongst that Transcendence too.
Indeed he will. Facility almost has a Dragon Strike ready to go, and of course he won't be able to mitigate that against Transcendence because Ding's already used his, and it looks like it's brawling out here. But still, Team Gigantti have a lot of control over high ground, but more tanks on the point, and here comes the self-destruct to clear everyone away.
Oh, there was no way you're running away from that Facility, unfortunately. Tonic actually opened up the kill with, opened up the fight with the kill onto the other sniper. In fact, Davin, yeah, deciding actually probably not best to stick on that Widowmaker now. Not many places to actually hide up on the high ground. Is actually going to go over to the Xayah of his own, and they are switching up to the 3-3, resetting their ultimate economy here. Suna does have that Graviton Surge. This could be an instantly won fight if it doesn't get eaten.
Milky Man with the old reliable shield, but Suna here is going to have to try and... What the? Not like this.
Not like this, Suna. What are you doing? Oh, Milky Man just kind of laughing to himself, but Suna still redeems himself with a kill onto him. So much pressure was brought out in the front line, as well as that Primal Rage pushing everybody back off the point. 4 meters now remain, but you can see Zuppe, he knows the fight's good as gone. That'll be Graceful and Suna cleaning up the rest of the kills, and second is going to get capped. 2 minutes and 37 seconds remain.
All's well that ends well. Suna is 64% of the way to his next grab, and I imagine it's going to be very aggressive here to try and make up. Like, look guys, I've got grab, nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened, no one saw it.
Happened, guys. Just no one noticed that, no one clipped that at all. But he's going to be retreating behind the trusty shield of his Reinhardt. Tonic has of course moved over to that for this final stage. Going to be going man to man with Milky Man. No, man to Milky Man, I suppose.
Man to Milky Man. I wonder where he got his name from. Actually, very curious. I'm going to ask him.
A delicious dairy-based treat.
Yeah.
Duh. He's trying to get that calcium, dude. He needs strong bones.
They're going to need stronger bones than this because they've got a beat going on right now, running straight at their face. Davin's got the Graviton Surge. Graviton Surge from Suna as well is available. Gustav is going to go down first. There's Transcendence to save them all as they do get grabbed in the side and a beat of their own. So 2 support ultimates used from Young and Beautiful, but no one really claimed. Tonic and Graceful are going to go down. Zappis finds a couple of kills. Gigantti chasing Young and Beautiful back to their own spawn.
3 ultimates expended, but 3 ultimates gained. Suna potentially going to be charged down here. Do they have a speed boost is the question. Davin was protected by the shield of Milky Man, who escorted him that way. And of course, Littlebow will be there with a speed boost. Just part of my curiosity. I think I probably could have chased down Suna there, maybe tried to get rid of all of that energy. We can see that Team Gigantti do love to be aggressive, already holding down this small pathway, and Davin's going to make that very good for farming himself some energy.
Yeah, perfect for those right clicks too, hitting that splash damage. There's a self-destruct thrown in, doesn't find anybody, but Davin is going to go down fairly early. He was actually trapped onto the right-hand side. That's not where you want to be as a high-charge Xayah. 50% on that grab, he's nowhere near it, but Suna is on 95%. The bash, the shatter, it does land, and Milky Man ends up going down. Suna might not even need to use this Graviton Surge. Zuppe has actually used the Transcendence to try and keep them in this fight. He's now got a free fight potentially coming up to the final corner.
Indeed he does. Zappe won't be able to answer it like you said. It's going to be all about Zappis trying to eat this up potentially, or even Suna just throwing it into the environment. We'll see where that goes, but Davin's going to have to quickly build up towards his own if they want a chance of holding this off here. And okay,
no, he got
someone
Harry.
in this one.
He got someone in this one, and they secure the kills. I saw you go in there. Milky Man's going to go down, and now they're 2 meters away from capping the point. Davin is finally back, but he's going to have to build up all this energy once again. He's not doing all too much damage. Littlebow, Zappis, they end up going down. It's Young and Beautiful now with a cleanup crew. Zuppe is going to fall to the floor as the shatter comes through, but personal shield from Suna saves the rest of them as Milky Man lays down the desperate shatter.
Suna just coming in with an mate. Not today. We're capping this one out. And speaking of which, 13 seconds still remain in the time bank. So, of course, there's always a guaranteed second attempt when it comes to payload if both teams complete, because you can't just move at 0.01 meters and win, because that wouldn't be very fun for anybody. apart from maybe the winners. But but now Team Gigantti have their own chance to attack here, and well, I talk a lot about how we felt in Classic Overwatch, like on Numbani, that it's a very defensible map in terms of their first point, but Dorado is one of those maps where often you do consider it to be very defensible. All three of these points can feasibly be held at any point. The Stage 1 finals of Overwatch League had New York Excelsior losing on Dorado to London Spitfire because they were held on second point, and London Spitfire managed to cap that one out. Even the best teams do falter on this map because first point, it's all about that main choke point into the garden square, into the market square. Because it has so many different sightlines that you can try and exploit as a defense to really pick off one person. Second point, it's all about that high ground, all around the church, potentially the courthouse, being able to make sure you can very much lock down points of ingress, keep your support safe. And then that third point, because of the sort of horseshoe shape of it, it gives you so many points at which to try and defend as well.
Well, we'll have to see what Gigantti want to do on the attack. They don't want to get Holt on first, that is for sure. Young and Beautiful, determined to do so, as their composition dictates. They're going 3-3. No Winston. It's going to be Tonic on the Reinhardt, as we can imagine, as we could expect even. And they're going to be hiding around this corner. Graceful, 3D peeking around with a brick shield. Gustav ready to speed them in at any moment.
I'll be interested to see if Milky Man quickly swaps over towards a Reinhardt here, because he will want to have that rather reliable shielding when going up against Tonic here, because one of the main mistakes Young and Beautiful had was that they weren't able to get behind that constant shielding, and it meant that Danny was constantly feeding over charge towards ultimate and energy charge towards Davin.
Wrap around from Team Gigantti, trying to meet them on their own turf. Zappit on the high ground, just pummeling Tonic's shield. That has been the main problem for Young and Beautiful. Keep Tonic's shield alive. There's just so much focus from Gigantti. Now you can see what you just said. Danny's mech just getting chewed apart by Davin.
Who's defending again, Jules? Because right now it looks like Young and Beautiful are in Team Gigantti spawn, and Team Gigantti are in the defensive position. But Davin's throwing in mortar after mortar. He can hit multiple people and build up towards this incredibly great protected barrier. Stun Shadow!
Early Earth Shatter coming out from Tonic. Didn't quite manage to get land, and Graceful activating the rally as well. Oh, Ding receives a little bit of armor, but I can't imagine he's going to survive. Davin hasn't built himself up towards a grab, but it's not even needed.
Okay. For a second I thought Team Gigantti were attacking because of that old do-si-do switcheroo of the positioning here, and now Young and Beautiful going to have to try and re-enter on this market square. Of course, we are going to potentially see Graviton versus Graviton. Davin's only 9% away from his, and Suna is ready to go. On both sides for Gigantti, combos ready to go, but who is going to pull it off better, the Originators or the new Hotness?
What?
The new Hotness.
Oh, okay.
Men in Black.
I've not seen Men in Black in a long time. There's the Graviton Surge. There's the Gigantti combo coming up. The beat's going to get laid down. Davin is in a very awkward situation. Use that personal shield. Instantly broken by the pin of Tonic, and Milky Man is going to go down to the self-destruct as well. Graceful trades up on the kill on Facility as well. Young and Beautiful. Perfect Gigantti combination against the team itself.
This is why you don't doubt the new Hotness.
It's true. Maybe did you go watch Men in Black again? Clearly, I do not
Suna just got 5% of his ultimate charge off of one mortar. He's definitely building up towards very quickly, already 30% of the way there, but now Davin, the ball's in his court, and he's already thrown out that particularly dense ball and brought everyone in.
Oh, there it is! The Gigantti combo strikes true. Zap is finding two. The Transcendence blown, maybe a little bit off. However, it does secure them the fight, Harry. Well, oh no, it doesn't, because that was on the side of Ding. I don't know why Ding transed. I don't have an answer for that, actually.
I don't know, dude. Like, when you're looking down the barrel of a Bigger Bang combo, like, the healing won't save you. 300 HPS is nothing against the burst damage. Maybe they thought that potentially Team Gigantti wouldn't invest that Diva Bomb. Who knows? All I know is that Team Gigantti have secured point A and got an extra 2 minutes and 30 seconds onto their time bank, and Young and Beautiful are posturing very aggressively on this defense. Look how far forward Tonic is. Going to have to make sure he doesn't suffer too much of his shield health moving forward, and he needs to take a quick engagement.
Rally, speed boost from Team Gigantti, marching forward. Tonic's shield health a little bit better than Milky Man's right now, but you can see the pressure that Gigantti are just exerting. Graviton Surge onto the side of the wall, but a perfect shadow actually stopping a lot of that damage coming through. Milky Man going extremely low. Shield's actually broken now, and you can see Davin just marching forward with the power of the speed boost, just making sure Tonic pays for every single inch he is stepping forward. However, a Shatter is now available for Young and Beautiful to use. A self-destruct is thrown in, a Shatter hits the floor, but finding nobody. Davin absorbs all of that with the shield as well, and a Graviton Surge as Young and Beautiful are baited in. A Transcendence to keep them alive, but their main tank is already dead. Milky Man just getting healed up straight to 100% HP again, and Davin just farming his way to another grab.
You know what, I questioned Ding's Transcendence usage, but he had another one ready to go, so I can't complain there. that much. Now he's going to be taken down by Lobo, just chased away, making sure that he can impede the progress of the car. And now 6 members of Team Gigantti are ready to go. They're going to claim as much forward space as possible. Zupe looking for his right-click charge shots. It's so important that he can build up towards this Transcendence as quickly as possible. He doesn't know whether Suna has that Graviton or not. Ult tracking would indicate he's going to be very close. He didn't have it in that last fight. Well, he did actually have it in that last fight, but it's been a while since he used that.
Self-destruct into the air, onto the side of the doors to try and delete Tonic's shield. Almost delete it. Tonic charges into the wall and a sound barrier from both sides to prolong the fight. That would be Gustav just booping away the Diva to make sure she can't get the high ground advantage. The Graviton Surge thrown into the bat, but an instant Transcendence from Zupe to keep them all alive. A nice shatter onto Tonic in the front line. No one could save him now, and that'll be Facility claiming the kill. 3 meters now remain for Team Gigantti to secure this point. We'll see if Davin wants to actually engage with the ultimate here. Does manage to throw it in, waiting for that defense matrix to go away. Facility does end up getting taken out. Same with Zappis' mech, but Gigantti are trading up. A big shatter from Tonic, though. Hang on a second. This might just turn it around. Tonic is in a very, very sticky situation, though, as he's only relying on the heals from the Lucio. Finally, Milky Man cleans him up, and that'll be Gustav going down as well. Danny stalls himself on the point for a couple of additional seconds burn, but Team Gigantti end up claiming second. Playing
for time, but unfortunately not playing for the point. 3 minutes now for Team Gigantti as they surge on forward. Davin's already 60% of the way towards that Graviton Surge. Milky Man ready to lay down the hammer at a moment's notice, but of course it's going to have to combine with Facility to make this happen. The stun and the shatter, very important, but Suna has been on top of these bubbles to try and save Tonic from these combinations. We'll have to see if that will be the case again. They'll be looking out for that projected barrier. That will be their go sign, and looks like Suna's used his own.
Yeah, there we go. There's the second one. Tonic's in a lot of trouble now. His shield's fairly low as well. They managed to get the stun off, but a Graviton Surge answered by Young and Beautiful, pinning everybody to the wall. A beautiful boot, but it boops everybody away. Milky Man's shield was still available. There's the self-destruct. The Gigantti combo's coming in true. Zappis finds another kill. Milky Man with a 180 shatter as well, but they still stay alive somehow through the barrier. It doesn't matter because Gustav's going to fall to Zappis. Tonic's shield's still alive and well. They're still going to be able to touch the point here as they do have spawn advantage.
Turn it around and slam it on down. Gigantti are on the point. And Tonic, not into the shield of Davin. He reads it like a book.
Davin coming up big, doesn't end up hitting the floor this time. He actually sends Danny all the way back to spawn. Danny claims Zappis' mech, but it is very bad news for Young and Beautiful right now. They're going to have to rely on the spawns and killing one person individually. Milky Man ends up going down, but there's only 3 meters remaining now for them to cap the point. The hamster comes on through, but there's no way they're going to be able to get back in time. Danny ends up falling. Emergency Doomfist gets stunned up, grabbed up, and a Transcendence for the victory shower for Team Gigantti.
A respectable time bank. They had about minute 30. They will get about additional 43 seconds because the 17 seconds need to be turned into a minute for Young and Beautiful. And now Young and Beautiful are the pace car. The fate is in their hands, Jaws. They need to win this map if they want to take us to a round 5 and potentially dethrone the kings that is Gigantti. But Gigantti have their own win condition as well. They have more than double the time bank. All they got to do is be aggressive again. It worked the first time. They were confounded for so long on the side of Young and Beautiful. They had to wait for a barrage at the peak ground, check for weather, and even then it was still a struggle.
Remember, yes, last week even, Windstrike managed to full cap with 1 minute remaining. It is possible.
Hopes and dreams are made of these.
Exactly, and 2 minutes and 22 seconds. That is the hopes and dreams of Team Gigantti in this game also. But with Young and Beautiful on the offense first, that will be Team Gigantti hoping to hold first also. They're going to be probably walk around this corner like we saw before, make sure they hold them at the spawn gate, pay for every single second that elapses.
Every inch is paid for in blood on the side of Young and Beautiful, or I suppose in sap since they are beautiful flowers. For now, it looks like Ding is going to be setting up on the high ground where it'll be a little bit harder to reach. Question is, will he drop down with the remainder of his team? For now, Gigantti. I said Ding. What I meant was Zupe. Zupe's up on the high ground.
What I meant was Zupe.
I keep forgetting who's on the offense because people are just doing around this cart so much. Like, who's attacking again?
Hey man, I want to tell you who's attacking right now. It's Young and Beautiful. Milky Man just holding the cart fast. Graceful when it actually extremely low there. You saw him push past Tonic's shield. It's got to be a little bit more careful than that.
He does. Milky Man being very careful with his shield health. Tonic's also losing quite a bit.
That was a big flame strike. 64% now on the board for Milky Man, only 20% for Tonic. If he just keeps doing this, and in fact 30 seconds have now just disappeared right in front of Young and Beautiful's very eyes. Gustav and Suna going extremely low. Milky Man just in firm control. Little Bo kills Tonic off instantly. 18 seconds now remain, and Young and Beautiful have to be able to push this. Ding earning himself a Transcendence first once more. They might just have to use that to push in. Davin is near that Graviton Surge, however.
He may have to use it to answer the Earth Shatter as it comes in. A minute has been traded for 8 meters and 35 centimeters thus far. The question is, what can Milky Man do? He's going to lay them all down,
What a shatter, but an instant Transcendence and a Graviton Surge to match from Young and Beautiful. That's going to be the sound barrier. Also, there's no bombs to actually throw in, so it's just a stalemate right now. Still 6v6, but this could be the turnaround. Tonic lays 4 people on their backs, on the floor. Davin falls. Milky Man goes as well. Young and Beautiful finally pushing their way out of spawn after 4 support ults used.
It may have been a quicker draw from Gigantti, but it wasn't a winning hand that they laid down. Young and Beautiful now have this cart in motion. Just about 13 meters, Jaws, and we are in overtime, but this is where you can really start to leverage that immediate use of the ultimate. Suna almost has the Graviton Surge ready to go. Zappis does have that bomb, can clear everyone off the cart potentially, and Milky Man can run through there to remove the shield of Tonic with the charge should it be required. But the question is, can Gigantti make this engagement work at an ult disadvantage? Look at how close Ding already is to another Transcendence.
Graviton Surge, there's the self-destruct launch into the air. Danny's already going to go down, so can't remake, but it doesn't matter. He already paid for his own life with 2 kills on Gigantti. Lilbo and Davin end up going down to the bottom, and that will be Young and Beautiful continuing to hold the cart.
This is what I call value for a minute, Jaws. It's a value proposition for Young and Beautiful. They are going to have to wait a while for those doors to open after this point complete, so cart won't be moving forward, and it'll give Team Gigantti a chance to move up as quickly as they want towards this next area and try and hold aggressively, I imagine, make sure that Young and Beautiful can't get any more distance than they've already been allowed. Davin, very low on the charge towards that Graviton, but so sooner. It's not going to be decided by Gravitons here. It will be all about Milky Man building up towards this Earth Shatter, trying to combine with Vigility, lay everyone down, but it didn't work out so well last time, and Ding still got that Transcendence to try and mitigate it.
Ding's been building up these trances so quickly. A shield bash onto Milky Man just could end him, but actually a shield bash onto Graceful ends his life extremely quickly. Now they haven't got another support to rely on. It's only 2 supports now left. Gustav lays down the Siren barrier to keep them in the fight, and the Shatter hits the ground, but it only catches Danny, and a Transcendence from Ding to make sure he stays alive in the fight as well.
Graceful can rejoin the fight. They're so close to the spawn. There's the Graviton Surge, but knocked back is for Reinhardt. He can't follow it up, Jaws.
Problem is, there's nothing to combo with it, and a Graviton Surge on the cart ends Gustav's life. Tonic just isolated himself completely, charged to the back line, tried to find a pin, but didn't quite get anybody. Suna is now last on the cart, has to be able to survive in this situation. Young and Beautiful are so close to their spawn, but Gigantti are forcing them off. Overtime depletes right in front of their eyes. Ding can't quite get on the touch, and Tonic even had the Shatter.
Ding's 90%, man. How he's doing so much damage. He's probably just in chat like, gold damage, by the way. Gold damage, by the way. But we'll have to see if it will be a gold finish for Team Gigantti. See if they can claim the win here. If not, we're going to a map 5. But to do that, Team Gigantti have to finish the entirety of the first point. Young and Beautiful can be incredibly aggressive on their defense, try and make them pay for every single inch in blood, like we said before. But Team Gigantti are ready to bleed green for Contenders. Bleed green for Contenders. Beautiful.
Yeah, if you say so. I'm not going to quite give you that one, but 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. 2-2 and 2. Young and Beautiful on the defense. Like you mentioned, Game 5 is still on the cards. They just have to hold for that long and wait for OT to take over. Team Gigantti, they're going to run the same comp. Looks like Young and Beautiful aren't going for anything crazy on the defense. They don't want to mix it up and go for something like Farah to surprise Gigantti out of the gate. Of course, they can't. It's extremely hard to do so as Team Gigantti are so close to their spawn they can change up at any moment.
Old Reliable here in the away skin. Young and Beautiful. Tonic going to be conversing with his teammates. He is going to have a preferable defensive position here because he has a much larger wall of a payload before him as long as he's on this side. Much more vertical, meaning that it's far easier for him to be able to take cover behind that.
Thought they were going to go for the cheeky wraparound again. Not quite so lucky. Tonic is just a frontliner like you mentioned. Vasily already goes down. Wow. That was a quick kill. Gustav ending his life. A shield bash on the Reinhardt normally ends his life, and a shield bash on a Brigitte, not too healthy either. 250 HP and a little bit of armor, but that's quickly dispatched with as Young and Beautiful find the first kill.
Davin's going to be more than happy to just try and skirmish here, use this high mountain of energy to build up towards that Graviton. Be careful, my son.
Yep, those barriers will go down extremely quickly if Tonic's swinging into them as well. The Milky Man going fairly low, but healed up with the rest of his team. I say that as Sooner actually ends his life extremely quickly once more, and that's going to be Zappos' mech as well. We'll see if they actually want to stagger him out here. Would be more preferable, but a little bit more time.
Indeed it will be. They've still got to be conscious of this time. Only a minute has been elapsed for Team Gigantti. They've still got 1 and 30 in their bank. Zupe's building up incredibly quickly towards that Transcendence, but you know who's a little bit quicker, Jaws? Ding. Ding's like my hero right now. He's building so many Transcendences. He's literally the Danish Donak.
Well, he's going to have to be the hero of Young and Beautiful right now. Having that online first is extremely good for him, but Zupe was only just a moment behind, has his available to him also. There's the Graviton Surge, it's on the cart, and a Transcendence as well from Zupe. But look at the ultimates on the side of Young and Beautiful. They got 4. Tonic lays down the Shadow, straight into the shield of Milky Man, blocks most of it up, and both rallies on each side have been used. Surging forward are Team Gigantti. They finally go around the first corner, and a Shadow from Milky Man, but a beautiful boop actually to make sure the pin doesn't end up connecting.
Indeed, now Davin ready to lay down the Graviton Surge, potentially, but it's just kill after kill for Team Gigantti. Davin does not need to invest this here. This is all about the next fight, Jaws, but Sooners fighting for that ult charge there as well. He had high charge, but he's only 6-7% of the way there. Danny needs to eat up this Graviton Surge. We haven't seen too many effective defense matrices thus far. Look at how close that green box victory is, tempting Gigantti with a clean series win that they need here over Young and Beautiful.
Could be a situation where those doors open and they can still get held. There's only 2 small entrances, but by the side of those doors is still possible. There's the Graviton Surge, but it got eaten. Danny actually finally eats a grab, and Davin's ultimate bank now completely disappears. There's going to be a sound barrier used from Team Gigantti, but Tonic still has that shatter available. Ding does unleash the Transcendence of his own to make sure his team stays alive in the back line. That grab didn't get eaten whatsoever, and overtime is now in session. Little Bo is going to fall to Gustav, and a man advantage now for the side of Young and Beautiful. A 6v5 situation turns into a 5v5. Milky Man with the shatter. As soon as that Reinhardt goes down, he hits the Kyugi and hits the rest of Young and Beautiful.
I find Tonic's decision-making there very questionably. Threw his Earth Shatter into a Graviton Surge when Milky Man was holding up his shield anyway to try and protect everyone from incoming damage. And now Young and Beautiful, they need to put their foot on the gas, Jaws. They need to be where Davin is right now. They've got 9 meters and 74 centimeters. I can't even read numbers.
It doesn't matter. All you got to see is how many ults Gigantti have got. They've got the Graviton Surge, but Sooner's jumped on the emergency Doomfist. A beautiful grab. They can't touch the carts. Tonic gets stunned up and pushed away. 6v6, and they get booped off. Tonic had nowhere to go. Gigantti end up winning the map and winning the series.
I'm not sure if that was Yikes play or if it was a great boop from Lilbo. Either way, it was very intelligent from Davin to catch them early there. Maybe Danny could have got on the cut. I don't know. All I know is that Gigantti have managed to do it, and Young and Beautiful, like, they're 0-3 now, but they've been a lot stronger than 0-3 suggests.
2 draws against Gigantti. One of our group favorites, and honestly been contenders like the season favorites throughout the entirety of these 3 seasons this year. They end up drawing 2 maps, but Gigantti find the 2 wins and they claim the series. We're going to jump over to the desk and they're going to break down those last couple of games.